All right, so this is art criticism number 3. As always, we are starting with this title information up over here. It starts with the artist name, which is Jan van Eyck. The title is Portrait of a Man, and the year it was created was 1433. So if I go over here, Jan van Eyck, Portrait of a Man, and 1433. Go ahead and pause me until you have finished filling those out, and unpause me when you are ready for the describe section. And let's do the describe. Now this is a more simple image, so the describe for this one just says list 3 things that you see in this work. The first thing that should be probably the most obvious is a man. There's a guy there. The next thing that probably stands out is he has a turban. He's also wearing a fur-lined coat. We're going to say dark background. We'll say wrinkled face. That's 5 things. You guys only have 3, so again, go ahead and pause me until you have written down at least 3 things in the describe section, and then unpause me when you are ready for the analyze section. Alright, for analyze, we are, again, in complete sentences, going to explain what color group is mostly used in this painting, mostly, not meaning exclusively, but mostly used, and what type of textures you see and where you see them in the artwork. So we're going to use our art terms when we do this. So let's start with the color. When we talked about color, we began with primary colors. Does it have all primary colors, mostly primary colors? That's reds, blues, and yellows. Nah, not so much. How about secondary colors? Oranges, greens, and purples. Nope. Literally none of those. Then we talked about complementary colors. Do we have complementary colors? Nope. We've talked about warm and cool colors in the past. Are they mostly warm or mostly cool? Nope. And then we talked about a new type of color this year called neutral colors. Are there neutral colors here? Yes, there are. All right, so we're going to say this painting, with the exception of the turban, is painted in neutral colors such as white, gray, black, and brown. All right, the next sentence we have to write is about the textures. We already kind of touched on that on the first describe section. We talked about there's wrinkles in his face, there's fur on his jacket, there's like a folded, crinkled turban. All of those are examples of texture. Now in our notes, we talked about 2 different main types of texture, real texture and visual texture. Which one do we think these are? Exactly, they have to be visual because it's a painting that can't be real. So we're going to say the texture of this painting is a visual texture. Now is it just visual? No, because there were 2 different types of visual textures. We had simulated and invented. Is he simulating real-world textures, or is he inventing new textures? He's simulating. So we're going to say is a simulated visual texture, and we can add such as fur in the collar, wrinkles in the face, and folds in the turban. Okay, so those, and so that's my second sentence about texture, and I'm all set with that. Go ahead and pause me while you finish typing that in. Unpause me when you are ready for interpret. All right, we are ready for interpret. If I scroll down here, it says, knowing that this is a self-portrait, and that the red turban was not some cool fashion statement. So that is not the purpose. It's not like, oh, I'm just not from there, I don't know why that's popular. No, it wasn't popular. It was not a thing people were wearing. Why do you think that Jan van Eyck chose to paint himself this way? Remembering, it takes a really long time to do painting. So when you paint yourself, you have a purpose behind it. You always choose something specific that you are trying to show off. So what exactly could he be showing off in this painting? Think about it. Come up with an idea. Why would he choose to do this red painting? Pause me while you type in that sentence. Unpause me when you are ready for the judgment section. All right, the last section is again about which aesthetic theory you want to talk about. So you are going to say based on blank. So based on imitationalism, based on formalism, or based on emotionalism. This is a good/bad, you gotta pick one or the other, painting, because. And you gotta tell me why. So if it's a good painting based on imitationalism, it looks real. If it's a good painting based on formalism, the techniques are used very well. If it's a good painting on emotionalism, it makes you feel something when you look at it. If it doesn't do those things, then it's going to be a bad painting. Pick one of them to talk about and tell me why or why not. When you're done with that, go ahead and submit that on Schoology, and you are all set with art criticism number 3.